Hello, it's Christmas special episode where I will defeat one of the most evil villains called Foreign Code. This is not mine, and I don't like that. We have to defeat it. Look how ugly it is. I click here, and it snaps into a different place. That is so stupid, bro. I accidentally click delete and everything gets deleted. That is so stupid, bro. I don't like it, man. This one is useless. This button is useless right there. I actually had to make these buttons somewhat more useful by adding functionality, but it served a great purpose of, debug logging purpose. When I send a message to debug, I get to read it over here. It's very useful for anyone who's making games because your game is probably going to be complex enough, so you need to debug a lot of shit and get a lot of information on your face. But before we step into the programming land, we have to level up my opponent.
Wait, you've only just begun to change?
I can't believe it. It's so powerful, bro. Actually, I don't know how to change it, but... and I probably will not be able to defeat it. It might change and evolve in front of our eyes, but it's not going to be defeated. It's not going to be completely removed. What I will be doing is just applying my skills of simplifying the code and seeing what happens. And seeing if I can, add something or remove something. It depends, right? Even as you start navigating the code itself, the console is actually hidden by default. It doesn't appear on the screen, which makes things a little bit more complicated. Actually have to enable it yourself somehow, and I don't remember how to do that. So we're already in a pretty tight spot, I'm not gonna lie. Technically, it's right here, but that's not what I'm looking for. I believe if you open up some of these, maybe then it literally says it's enabled and it doesn't show it. That is fascinating to me. Like, it's supposed to be here. The first thing I usually do is just dive into the code. But in this case, we're probably gonna analyze what we're dealing with first. We have the manager script. Where are all the scripts anyways? It's in the plugins, in debug console, and script. And we have this many scripts. 6 plus 7, 13. A bunch of it's already like overly complicated if you have 13 scripts. Let's open all of them up. I have space for that. I'll close even this one. Except I do want to open one of my tool sets. Except, what's gonna happen to Freezer? He's gonna shrink a little bit. As he's evolving. He's gonna shrink into a more efficient version, hopefully. Or he's gonna turn into a monster. Well, technically you get to see the full form of, like, the code itself. You get to come closer and investigate. You want to defeat me, bro? Would appreciate that, if that happens. So we need a taskmaster, which has all the extensions here that we'll be using to shrink the code as well. And potentially we're even gonna discover something else. What we're gonna be looking for is repetitive code. It's very simple stuff. But before that, we have to check. We're only gonna need the log window. I can probably already delete this pop-up thing that I don't understand what this is. It's it doesn't even exist on a canvas. I would have to like drag it here, which is I don't need that. I'm sorry, bro. I don't need that. So already this is fine. Maybe you click on this and something happens. There's debug pop-up. Let's see how many scripts there are inside here. Just a simple image, same deal, text, there's no script. So one script is down because I don't even need to use this thing. A pop-up bar, but everything else I believe is legit. There's the event system, but I don't think it's a part. It's a part of it? Fucking hell, man. I also have event system, that's why I disabled this. And then there's a spawner, but that's my shit. Alright, so we simplify this by analyzing what we're working with. We're not working with a pop-up, but there's a lot of stuff here that is invisible, unfortunately. And potentially in control. What? Maybe here, right? In the controls, maybe we can enable something here. I'm clicking enabled, but it doesn't work. Well, that's kind of stupid. So even summoning Freeza will be hard. Because that's the only way I can modify the way it looks and stuff. Otherwise, I just simplify the code. How did they disable? I have no idea. Oh. Is it behind canvas? I guess not. I literally have no idea, bro. Why is command suggestions so big? What happened to you? I don't even know what that is. This thing serves a very simple purpose, as you can see. And it's sort of like fair enough. I can click and close it. I can re-enable it if I want to. So it doesn't get in my way in any way. I've been able to use this quite smoothly this whole time. But I could improve like search engine, where you search game and dev, and something still shows up because it contains both words. But you get nothing, actually. Which pisses me off, of course. You can simplify with this a little bit, but I would prefer if these would also collapse into each other to some extent. Does that collapse neighbors too? Nope. It should collapse neighbors, and if it detects multiple, maybe it should collapse them too. I would even collapse this stuff entirely. If it's just +1, I would collapse that shit as well. So there's a few changes I might want to make. This is a big deal. I don't think any of these do anything in real time. So how did they disable it, right? It's so fucking weird. Does that allow me to look at it? Nope. Why is it showing canvas first? Wow. This is a default values, basically. It's also all over the place, and I still can't see it. This is so annoying. This is how it started with. Like, what's the point of not being able to see it, right? You can see this image exists. And I do need to open prefab if I want to mess around with it. That's annoying. But the image and the pop-up exist. And they're visible. I literally have no idea how you make things invisible like that. That is skill right there. Source image also looks like an actual image. Oh, impressive. Sliced background, though. What's the point of that? Isn't it, like, normal completely? What's the point of... Well, it is different than... whatever. It's just a plain. Doesn't have to be called anything. Just different color. We got him, boys. We fucking shot him down. Freeza is here. We can see him now. It's a fucking canvas group bullshit. You don't need that shit. Canvas group my ass. We can just disable that. Interactable. Oh, wow. Blocks raycast. That's an interesting one. Alright. Fucking hiding in there with alpha value. Holy shit. Now that we solved the biggest mystery of all time, I still don't understand if canvas group is useful or not. Because it just says interactable. And I'm like, what? So we disable that entirely, I guess. We can test it out if something crazy happens. Wait, what? Why is something disabled here? There's this corner thing that's supposed to be enabled. Will it appear when I press play? It does in fact appear. All of these seem to be clean. Even past removing the group. Alright, let's dive into the code and simplify the shit out of it. We're gonna open one by one, take a capture of amount of lines they have, because we're gonna turn that shit into mush. Fight against Freezer. Begins, bro. Shit that has only 23 lines of code, we probably not only not ignore it, but we're gonna just squeeze it somewhere else. Or it's just completely useless because it's too complicated. Also, we might discover some new things while looking at the code, something unusual. Unity editor, Unity 2021 or newer. Yes, please. It's already... What the hell is that? Assemblies and shit. Look at this crap. Oh my god, what is this? Add commands? Fucking T-series, bro. Holy shit. Somehow there appears to be 2 chunks of code with 1,500 lines at least. So that's that. Now the other ones seem like nothing to me. And obviously we have like ridiculous names for all the files. Debug, log, recycled, list view. Sounds like shit to me, bro. Blah, blah, blah. Holy shit. Debugs on scroll listener. Yes. I do like listeners and event things, but I just send events through strings of code. I don't need to like do crazy things. Like actually call them events in the first place. I can call them events if I'm trying to explain something to people. So we have like ridiculously long names for all these things. It's kind of scary, bro. Oh, no, don't do anything crazy, bro. Can I remove this, please? Close all, bro. What the fuck? So just navigating between these is going to be a nightmare. Because the names are so huge. I'm not even sure what I'm clicking on. Let's try and close the not so relevant ones with just a few lines of code. We're not gonna learn much from that shit. On drag, yeah, resize. This one seems to be straightforward. Listener, blah, blah, blah. And we still have plenty of lines of code, it seems. Or files to look at. Is that it? It feels like that's it. We have Chunky 8. No? Okay. Like, I don't even know how much I'm opening, because, like, it looks like this. Like, it's hard to navigate, bro. At this point. And I don't know how to switch tabs easily. This alone requires you to, like, not have crazy names for your files. Let alone that you have to write code with that shit. Oh boy. We're not gonna rename that anytime soon, because all the code requires the stupid names to be in a particular way. It's not the hardest thing to do. We're gonna be doing some crazy shit, and renaming is just gonna be inevitable. In fact, I could just do it for funsies. Which one is the longest name? I don't even know. They're so long I can't even see it. Now I can see it, but it's disgusting. I can't. Fuck you. Oh, I can click. I can click Systems Handler. This is a very basic one. We can see which one is longest based on... Okay, this one can go as well. Okay, we have 7 files open. This should be doable now. Now let's scroll through the code, see repetitive parts, or see stuff that I'm uncomfortable with, like whatever the fuck this is. This is how it would look like in my code. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? Why you need space in there? I don't get it, bro. But I might... No! There's no way, bro. And take a snapshot again of the biggest offenders of space. And as we simplify, we're gonna learn the code. Obviously, by simplifying, you're not doing much. But eventually you will. By accident, you know. Oh, oops, I just shattered your ways or whatever. Vase. Like, you click this shit, a lot of bunch of things highlight, and it's like, well, why the fuck you call it anchored position if it's a completely different thing? Just like Ank. It's Mr. Ank, bro. And then you just like simplify the name itself. It's Mr. Ank. And as we run around and simplify things, we might accidentally read the code and learn what it actually does. Isn't that crazy? I think that's pretty crazy. You gotta be careful, even though I don't like this. And I can simplify it, it feels like. It's very complicated piece of text. What the hell is that? Everything goes to one line easily. Then that one has to be split. How do you even read the fucking code like that? I don't understand how people do that. It's unbelievable to me. What kind of fucking screen do they have where there's one line across the entire screen and then there's a bunch of split lines? Like that one seems pretty cool. Looks exactly the same as everything else. However, what's the point of splitting these lines? So yeah, anytime I would get a piece of code, it's mine now. I don't care what the fuck you did with the code. Because I have to do so much work just to undo the dishes, bro. Also, yeah, it is weird, isn't it? In the comments, it says weird. Yes, I do agree. It's pretty weird. Hopefully I'm not doing any damage to the code so far. That'd be embarrassing. But just renaming something could do something, I guess. The compilation takes so long. What the fuck, man? Even that alone, because every single time code compiles, it compiles literally everything in the universe, it feels like. Okay. Everything is intact. We can continue. Alright, let's rename one of the most disgusting offenders. So listener is fine. I think recycled list view is the longest name. And that's the one. That's the one right there, boys. And we rename it to something else. So debug is just going to be DL, debug log, and what else do we have? Some kind of recycled view. So R view or whatever. Easy game. R view. DL R view. But in a way, everything is a fucking debug log thing. So R view DL. Because we only see this part. And we can resize it a little bit. But we still only see this part of the name. I think it's a good idea to take a backup of these files. Because you never know when everything is going to go to shit. Funny thing is, storing them inside Unity is kind of retarded. So I can't just put it here. I have to put it outside. Somehow just renaming makes things so much worse. See, I'm telling you, this is some fucking ooga booga nonsense. Just rename it and you're in trouble. Holy shit. It's ambiguous. Interesting. I just have to clean up the code itself. Out of the place. Okay, so it works so far. Let's see if it works all the way. I guess so. Yeah. Seems clean. Okay. So renaming is not a big deal. You just have to clean up the previous versions so there's no ambiguous code. How cool is that? Look at all these names that they're using. It's ridiculous. And they're probably just using it once every blue moon. Original position. Explaining too much using variables themselves, like, that's fucked up, man. Because I can highlight them right now. I can see all the variables where they are and what they're doing. You know. It's like you see blacksmith and his name is Bob. So if he's going to craft a dagger, then you know it's a blacksmith. He might even sell the dagger to you. I mean, it's very easy to identify variables. And the name shouldn't be this fucking complicated thing. What are you doing here? Holy shit. So, this is true, but if this is true, it changes round to int. Holy shit, man. Into byte. Into this color. What is he doing? What the fuck, man? Why you need colors in the first place? I can destroy that shit easily. It's gonna be interesting, bro. So this is one of the codes. And the other chunky code is here. We have debug log manager and debug log console, I believe. Two giant codes to analyze. Yeah, besides playing Hearthstone, this would be such a cool hobby of just picking up someone else's code and just squeezing it into a tiny marble. Alright, I take a break now. It's time to continue and actually topple it down. Again, we start at this position. In total, we have like 3,200 lines of code. My main piece of code only weighs 1,000, and that's the main one. Everything else is like at 100 on average, maybe 150, 200. I do have now plenty of scripts, right? It's a very similar amount. Private set. What's the point of this? Are you kidding me? It's just a fucking variable. Buffer. It's a class. There's a class inside a class, isn't it? Yeah, I love those. Those are fucking annoying. Technically, I said it wrong. It's not a class inside a class. It's two classes side by side. But it still scares me when that happens. Usually one code's supposed to do one thing, and having multiple classes is kind of weird. They can even have any name they want. So weird. Oh look, lines just disappeared. I guess it's some kind of like a buffer thing that holds a specific class. And count is just something that is regularly used by arrays as well. I mean, arrays use length, but it's used by lists. It makes some sense, but this code just looks like fucking nonsense to me. Especially this stuff. Like, what? This is scary. I know this stuff, but even that is scary because it's kind of useless code. It's a very annoying type of code that makes your code looks like shit. Alright, let's see if we have more of that. Yeah, it just doesn't stop there, doesn't it? It wants to be compatible with stuff. See, newer. It wants to be very careful. And I hate that shit, bro. It either works or it doesn't. Wow, 2017. Like, what the fuck, man? Just ask people to get the newer Unity. That is interesting. What is this? There's a lot of weird stuff, isn't it? What the hell is this? This is, I think it's a console thing where you type in commands. It's hard to tell because I never used it. I'm noticing this index off thing, which is being used quite a bit, I believe, to find things. And, but it's still very complicated to tell at the moment. I don't use this at all. I don't even know how to use this. I haven't learned it. And I don't care that much. But I do feel like I'm not at full capacity when I don't know how to use index off. I know it returns a number where a position is of the string. So we have blah, 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 red, blah, blah, blah. You look for the red. You get the number where it is. where the string starts. So you not only find it, but you find a specific position, which is pretty useful, but not in these situations, I don't think. The funny thing about this freezer is that it could have its own foreign code inside it. You know, you just never know what the fuck it's stitched out of. These are the super villains that you're fighting with. So even like the parse code, this could just be a stitched thing where it's partially used. It's not actually a useful part of the code that I'm simplifying here. But like, seriously, you don't need any of these gaps. This is like super simple part that is like so repetitively simple as well. And probably doesn't even do anything. Just gives you a type of something. It returns a bool, by the way. So I don't even know, bro, what the fuck is supposed to do. I mean, it does have output, so I guess that's useful. And numeration. Like, this is not supposed to be this complicated. And yet it is. And it's kind of cringe. Also, funny enough, I think I can simplify the whole thing here. I think it only changes by very little bit. Maybe not. Some of these things I have to concede to because what I'm dealing with is just 2 lines of code. It's just like, whatever. But when I see a chunk, then we can enter, bro. And destroy. This stuff I'll leave. Why not? Maybe it will be useful to understand what's going on. Like, imagine, like, is else part of the code? Is this part of the code in the first place? Yeah, bro. You don't get extra lines for that shit. This whole thing is a piece of code, right? If this happens, then this. Or if the condition is true, then this. And then you read it. Like, there's never a reason to do this shit. Besides, like, easy access, which I don't... This is brain damage now. Your stupid easy access. I don't even know what to use it for. But this is just the most basic thing I can do. And be proud of. Just removing lines like that. If I hit a much more juicy target, it's going to be quite a highlight. But this is like very basic stuff. Where I don't even need to read the code. I do respect ifs. You could like remove the line here, but it starts with an if, so it's a pretty unique piece of code. Alright, we got something, boys. We have one of my favorite things. Return false. Actually, it's very difficult to say, but we end with this, right? And what we can do is question if this is true. Then vector is 0, like that. If this is true, then it's vector 2, apparently. I still have no idea what the fuck you need that shit. Unfortunately, I can't access that. It's kind of complicated. This should work with any type, this sort of function, because it's an extension. So if I cannot use extensions, then I might not have access to anything at all. That is a little bit cringe. We have to figure out how to do that. We have types. Everything should work regardless of what the type is. In a way. Because the question is any type. Right? Maybe. I mean, it is. It's any type. Okay. I can use extensions throughout my entire code. So it doesn't make sense for me to not be able to do this here. I'm not sure what to go from here. This is still not able to find my code. Even through namespace. What the f... Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I'm throwing bolts of lightning and I'm not hitting the fucking thing at all. I can throw missile launches and it's not gonna hit anything. I mean, obviously I can just do copy and paste and be a little bitch about it. You know, just throw a grenade. Breakaway. Eat this little bitch. Still doesn't work. Still have to fix something, right? Okay, task. No, we don't need that shit then. What the fuck? Oh, random? You don't like random? Ambiguous little bitch. But yeah, this would be the brute force solution of like, well, copy and paste, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it doesn't work. Because it has like different types for some bullshit reason. This is repetitive code that sets a value. So we definitely use this somewhere else. Or do this somewhere else if it's repeated even 4 times. And maybe more. The round to int is like something I use, I believe. I can double check you guys. Because it's a very common thing when you just, you know, create an integer. Actually, it's a fucking floor. God damn it. Math floor? What happened, bro? Somehow we're already looking at the bottom of the code. I mean, I skipped a lot of places. And I'm not looking for specific functions yet. Because I feel like the log manager should be a more interesting thing to look at. This is kind of like just random. Bro, these are literally like values and stuff. This is equal to or equal 1. What the fuck is this? How can you not just like turn this into a value and just copy and paste it a bunch of times? Because it's literally being done, being used over and over again. It's disgusting. Let me show you. Look how many times it's used. 20 times. And it makes the code so disgusting. I'm not exactly... I don't understand enumerators or whatever. I forgot how to use that shit. Yeah, enumeration is like you type in a text, but you get a number instead. Fuck this shit, man. Oh my god, this is definitely foreign code. Look. It's all in one place. It's crazy. Who would do such a thing? All in one line. I mean, ChatGPT suggests me to just combine this shit together. And, I can reuse it a bunch of times. Because it does break away a bunch of code that I don't like. There's also this comparer thing, which has a shitty-ass name. Alright, so that's good. We're gonna kick that in the balls. Alright, we're actually leaking to a different type of code here. Because it's doing the same exact thing. It's doing the comparer bullshit. It's even using the class itself. Like, it's disgusting beyond belief. But it doesn't seem to contain many lines. So I'm probably not gonna touch this. But it's literally the same thing. What the fuck? You eat this as well, bro. You eat that simplifier. Simply because I can. Feed you. And it should work, right? We can use it as a test subject. It's unbelievable, right? To even detect something like this. Why is this not available? It's a different class? See, that's why I'm pissed, bro. This class ends here. Then you have some kind of structure thing. Fucking little bitches, man. We're passing the changes, it seems. And everything should still remain functional. Now, I can't actually test functionality that much. There's not a lot of it anyways. In this console thing, I don't even know how to use it. But when I make changes that are very, very simple and cannot possibly cause any problems. But there's still a chance for anything. So now those comparers can finally have one line and not be split all over the place. I'm still not comfortable with whatever the fuck this is. But we can fix that easily. Just the names alone, just the way you use variables can be disgusting. And if you use some kind of value, fucking 56 times, yeah, it has to have 2 characters of a name. I was very generous and gave 4 characters. It's a very unusual name. Command name. Oh, this one's scary. This one's in the middle of something. Wait, you can do that? You could just put a column and all of a sudden no value needed to... I mean, that's kind of funny. It strips away functionality. In a funny way. Because usually it looks like this, right? We just put a fucking column. Come on, man. I kind of need that shit. You can discover some crap like this. And even this can be easily done with robots. I just show the pattern of what I'm doing, and they would just simplify the code into ridiculous extent. So I could teach robots instead to do this. But I'm too stupid enough to ignore that fact, you know, and enjoy it myself for now. My favorite, parse bool, but looks like shit. Like, come on, man. Is that, like, if you're parsing bool, then the output is either true because this, or it's false because of any other reason. So you can literally do this. Also, what am I outputting here? Oh, because... What the... Come on, I don't... Jesus Christ, man. I understand now, and it's like, if you actually successfully extract value of a bull, then you're the smartest person in the universe. And I don't need that shit. No one needs that shit, bro. I have a feeling all these things can disappear if Unity Editor and anything inside. So I don't goddamn need that shit. But it's only up there. Whatever. Ah, it's inside here all over the place. If it's Unity Editor, then everything's different, apparently. How cool is that? This guy already took 120 damage from me. Take that, you little bitch. Also, round to int is gonna be changed as well. So, I just use I round. There you go. Now, by all means, I don't need none of this stuff. Like, none of this, technically. Because it's a very, very simple idea of what I need. I just need to send text somewhere else than the debug log, because debug log does not even exist. So, it's just very, very simple idea. And then you can do much better work. If I just went with it and spawned things, basically. But it's very difficult to navigate. Like this one. This one's a tough one to crack. Just a simple slider where there's so many elements inside it as well. Like, that is crazy to me. Well, the most important one, if you repeat value over and over again, might as well offset it into a goddamn integer. So token length or whatever. And now you just use this. And I can probably offset it even more because you can see it's highlighted all over the fucking place. I use this thing extensively. It's just you never know when this thing is actually changed. But maybe you do. Token count. I'm still not gonna touch it. Actually, I will offset it outside. Because this is way too common. There's no way token is being reevaluated in different ways. We just grab it. Here it's set once. And it just keeps on doing the same thing, which is reads in different ways. This is how you read the code, basically. It has to be simplified as hell. Or explains. It depends, right? But for now, I'm just reading the code by looking at its flaws. It's kind of fascinating to see that way, because it's more interactive. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you would do it persistently. It would be an interesting experiment. I would imagine most of the code looks like this. Because I've seen it, bro. And it's cringe. I've seen even worse, bro. Holy shit. This is why I even stopped, like, worrying about other people's code. Because I know it's just garbage. Even if I copy and paste it. Even this is repetitive, and I do recognize using this part of the code myself. Basically, depending on the value, you can do things. You can do more things. If this is more than 0, then it's technically, I mean, it has values. It has at least one value. So you can add it here. And the same goes as we go along, right? I've used this with while reading cards. I've used this only once. You can see the info count. And even this one is cringe because it is a count after all. Can be simplified just to an extent. Actually, let's do it right now. Alright, it's somewhat simplified. I used the Q as well. I'm still not happy by any means. Because this code is repeated. And it sort of just applies values based on that criteria alone. Not sure. So maybe you think I can't do much anymore because I happen to be very slow and I haven't even hit the debug log manager. And maybe that's true. I do, however, have a goal to fix the search engine, as I've said, so that, and fix this, and fix the delete button. So I have 3 goals. All of these 3 buttons are trash to me and useless. I can change them significantly. Funny enough, this is deprecated garbage. And simply looks like this. As I remember. Like this. Fuck. Then it's kind of cringe, actually. But it's still better than whatever the fuck that was. Substringing and length checking and all that crap. Oh, look, you can inline this shit. So this goes here. Well, quick fix, am I right? Yeah, it goes inside here. Apparently that works. Cool. This can be simplified. Null expression. It turns into that double question mark. I made it visible. But I can't quite change anything about it. But it does seem to grab methods and method target consistently. Which is like, just fucking grab the method, bro. But it is a function of like very weird things. And I'm like, okay, I guess I don't like that. I don't even know what this is. But then this is available, method info. So I have no idea at this point. You should just feed that shit in. Funny enough, you can outset output here. In some situations, output turns into something else. So it is complicated in that sense. Not yet sure how to do that. But normally this repeats way too many times. So these could be like exceptions or whatever. You get null and it returns. And then you have 2 exceptions, which is this. If it's this type. Or this type right here. Very simple. And then output is gonna be something else. So it must not be this or that. And output is result every single time. And then all these lines get defeated, basically. Funny enough, results is a different type every single time. So it's a little bit more complicated. I don't even have a solution then if it's different. While output is an object, result is not an object. And once it's set, it's inside these brackets, and that's it. Well, that fucking sucks. Bruh, what the fuck is this? Okay, system info is way worse. And it's a pretty simple one. Just like fucking use the thing. What the okay. I guess we're not just gonna use the thing. The power is increasing. Now I compress 33% of the code. But again, just using very, very simple things and renaming things as well. And because the console is a boring thing that I don't even use, there's nothing to look at here. We have to switch to the other code now. You really feel like a superhero, you know? Your spider senses are tingling, you pick up a Thor hammer and just crash something. An entire building, bro, of stupid names. I need those superpowers, bro. Or you use Thanos snap and half of the code disappears. That would be incredible. The biggest thing I hate is when explanations take lines, bro. I sort of have something similar, but these are like deprecated codes. When I try to explain something, I put it on the side. And if it doesn't fit on the side, there's nothing to explain, bro. Shut the fuck up. You gotta love these ones. If this, then it's false. Technically, it returns the opposite of this, right? I think it's fucking dumb. Almost at 50%. 1,000 lines. But now we're kind of reaching the bottom of this. There's no extra lines left to just delete. As simple as that. Wait, lists are pretty cool. If you can just do that. New. Okay. I'm still finding some stuff. Compressing programming is so cool. It's better than compressing Lamborghinis, dude. Because you actually still have a functional code. Invisible code. The only thing that changes is the amount of fucking lines you have to scroll through until you reach the end. Now we're at 920. There's one thing for the final boss that I will pick, and it's the same thing I've talked about. This token value nonsense. It seems incredibly repetitive and somewhat useful, where you put, well, tokens in one place and whatever values you want to get out in another place. Oh, what a beautiful name. I mean, whatever this is just a fucking number of this. What the? You gotta love this one. So if we offset this, the only thing that matters is, will I remove 0 or 1? Hmm? And this part disappears. Alright, we have our first victim here. I'm not sure what's going on. But technically, yeah, it's that one thing again. Actually, yeah, it's part of the final boss, actually. Interesting. Because all these values have to also be valid. Funny enough, I can just add a range of random values. And it will still not read, but it will acknowledge that it's filled. And that's fine. That should work. It's my code that didn't work. And I fucking hate it. I hate that part of the queue. Where it reads the value, and if it's null, it sucks. Okay, it works normally now. For the finale of this video, as I've promised, it's that one thing left to do. How are we in a different log manager? Okay, console. 900 lines. Alright, so the final battle. I need to turn the tokens into whatever values I decide to outs, technically. I wonder if that works. I think that's the technique. Is to set up values anyways, regardless. And you kind of know how they should look like. But it's still weird, bro. Holy shit. Like, you know what kind of length you're looking for. So every other value is gonna be trash. Which is this. It's decided. But it's technically still trash. It feels like I need to be able to extend arrays. But they can be any kind. And this one is a little bit awkward. I don't think I use length in anywhere. Wow. Like, at all. I do feel like I extend somewhere, somehow. But I guess not. Wait, I'm stupid. Maybe this will work. I just didn't capitalize. Where's the U? What the fuck? Why is it so hard to find? Okay, let's try again. Again, technically, I should be able to pick an array and add to the length or rewrite it, but that's kind of dumb. Another thing I can do is check the length with the easy quest thing. So this remains the same way, except the quest is predetermined. Where I pick a T array. And then I ask what kind of amount length. And then the quest is array length has to be larger. And now it does work. Because I thought it was lowercase for some reason. But we're not done because the second value is not needed when we know exactly what we're looking for, which is array t length. In other words, if we go down here, this 0 shows up here as well. So we're using length, it has to be longer than 0. That means we can take the 0. Good enough. And that's it. That's the whole fucking line. That will simplify a little bit, just enough to make me feel satisfied. So let's see how it looks like in the end. Wait, what the fuck do you mean? Oh, it's an integer, because it grabs the value from inside, if it exists. Was I able to do L without L? Yeah, that was the idea. That is still a simple quest, but written differently. Byte. Okay. We're not necessarily done here because now this is available. And then this and that. Right, now it's just 2 lines of code. In fact, it's even better, as always. Because we immediately output the whole fucking thing. Well, technically it doesn't matter. It has to define itself, then I can put it in an object. I can't test this, unfortunately. Unless I rewrite it here, where we started, right? Where I'm using exactly the same thing. Now, this looks kind of ugly, but equal or larger than 3 is also known as more than 2. Alright? Meaning that this whole thing can be rewritten now successfully into this. I don't even have to use my brain for it. Okay, it's a little bit uglier than I thought, actually. We need to use list as well, maybe. It's okay, that one sucks. Hopefully this works. So if I do list of this, I get to use count. And we're all Gucci, right? Gucci smoochy. Alright, that's that. Basically, it means that the same thing can be used with arrays or lists. It doesn't matter. Because they all have length. And this whole thing disappears almost. Almost, guys. The idea is we use strings for everything. Info 3. And after we use it, we parse it. Yep. Now, I'm not sure how to test this part. But let me just finish it up. Okay, so it sort of simplified a little bit. As the previous version. and one line disappears. I believe this is supposed to load values and stuff. Like, this is actually very useful. Let's see here. Yeah, this is used for loading, so double check. I mean, everything seems in place. Sure. Alright, so final boss has been defeated. It was pretty small, but that's what I tackled this time. Also, this one failed. Okay, if I specify this, then I can just use output. And bam. Alakazam, bro. Everything disappears. It might not look like the cleanest thing because of this stupid attachment of rounding the number, which probably just translates into I round. Which is IR. But it's kind of weird one. I would say like I5 is pretty cool. It says like it's picks the middle, because that's what rounding is between a floor and seal, right? That's where round is. So ceiling would be 9 and flooring would be 0. Except I floor by default, which is still 0. It's just default. It's kind of interesting. So all the brothers united. Okay. I believe you round by default with integer. Fucking truncates? Really? Also, that's the default value. It's kind of weird. Because it's also even questionable if I5 was useful in that sense. And the default value is to truncate the integer. Oh, they've taken a piss on me and saying it's a naming violation rule. Oh, you little bitch. They're betraying me. They want uppercase letters. So, but it's literally just getters and setters, bro. It's not that different from a normal value. I'm even willing to simplify this. This reoccurring value where I grab the name of the card using the position. And even though it seems very simple, it probably will allow me to squeeze all the information in one line now. Where I put return here. So, yes, okay. And it's ridiculously similar to this. Alright, clean that up. Damn, usually this is like the most evil thing ever. Grabbing transform in position of an object. Because it happens way too often. But apparently in my code it's just once. I know it appears other places too. I wonder if I can simplify it. But we're probably looking at the wrong thing to simplify. There's the width and height idea. Width. That one doesn't work. That one's kind of okay. Shit, it only appears once as well. I want to shrink this line, bro. Yeah, even though this appears once, I feel like this is not the last time. And I still have to respect that I can simplify it using these things. And now if I want to extract this vector, I just width height myself. And now it's simple. Where it costed me one line. But I saved one line. And God knows what else I saved. I would imagine whatever I'm doing here, I can offset rectangle to width and height. Yep, doesn't say anything. Shit. Maybe I'm lying. No, I just removed the wrong ones. So much shit just got simplified. Okay, overstaying my welcome, I defeated my final boss. Just one final revision and we're good to go. Somewhere else. Which is gonna be this thing. And there's a lot of stuff here. Jesus Christ. It's a larger file, more relevant. This is where we're gonna make changes, potentially. Like, the names of these fucking variables are insane. Jesus Christ. These are some crazy Rex in there. Jesus fucking look at this shit. Fucking write a fucking book if you want. I mean, it's that easy. Again, if I had full control over this, all this shit gets out of here. And technically, most of these conditions are true, except the Unity editor. I would just delete that shit. I don't know. It's weird. Where are you, string builder? Who are you? What is this shit? It's a normal thing? This is normal, bro? Why you need a string builder? What the fuck is this? I guess it makes some sense to someone somewhere, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucking alien software here. There isn't a direct way. Like, what are you talking about? Just plus equals, bro. What is this bullshit? I apologize. Please don't hurt me. Let's go, bitch. Like, what the fuck is that shit? What is this shit? Fucking variable builder. 1 + 1 is 2. My god. Add +1, bro. +10. Fucking add. Yep. Okay, see you guys next time. This is fucking alien shit still. There's a lot of stuff to kick in the balls. But this is the least relevant one, which maybe I'll come back to, but I just wanted to take a look, take the vibe in, see what Freezer looks like. What else, Freezer, bro? What else are you gonna do, Oh my god, it became bigger and stuff. Alright, see you guys next time.